You know, we all have the same 86,400 seconds in a day. We have the same 1,440 minutes to spend however we want. Each of these minutes are precious and they count. Some will be memorable. Some will be regretful, but so many of them will also be wasted. These small units of time are too often filled with little things that really don't make that much sense or matter in the long run. We might seek small pleasures or avoid minor discomforts and pursue small goals. You know, if we're too easily offended, we're too consumed with the opinions of others, and if we're not careful, we simply begin to exist and not really live. There was a study done that showed how humans spend their life, how they use their life. They said the average lifespan nowadays is 78 years. Of those years, 28 of those will be spent sleeping. It kind of feels like you're not making the most of life when you figure, oh, I only have 50 years now. 7 of those years are lying in bed for the average person, worrying about things that haven't even happened yet. Factor in the 11 years that we're watching TV, or we're on our phones, the 10 and a half years working, the 4 years driving, all the time spent eating and drinking and getting dressed and doing mundane tasks, and it leaves you with approximately 8 years to live your life. Man, what would you do if you were in the doctor's office right now and you had tests done, the doctor looked at you and he pointed to the x-ray on the screen, he said, you have 8 years to live? What would that do to your sense of urgency? How deep in gratitude would you be for each moment that you had left? What would you do with your life? How intentional would you be? Man, you got to be intentional with your life, with the minutes, with the hours, with the days that you do have. Because each day that you spend, you have 1 day left to live, and you have to be intentional and live with purpose in every step. You know, sometimes the easiest way to live with purpose in every step is to know that you don't have that many left. To know that you're not promised a year from now or 50 years from now or a week or whatever it is. Everybody has a last day. Everybody has a last week. And we have to be intentional with the time and the lives that God has given us and steward it well. I love what Moses said in Psalm 90:12. He said, teach me to number my days. Number. He didn't say name the days. He said number the days. God told Adam, the first human, to name the people, to name the places, to name the animals, but he wants us to number our days. Everything has a beginning and an end, and we have to be more selective with the days that we have. There was a study done with 50 people that were 95 years of age and older, and they asked them all the same question. They asked them, if you could all do it differently, what would you do? And the number one answer was, I would take more risk. At the end of their lives, they weren't talking about being more successful or wishing they hadn't failed. They had just wished that they went for it more. They wished that they would have gone for it more. They wished that they lived with purpose in every step. What if you took more risks? What's the dream that you have in your head? What's something that you think is too crazy for you to perform, that you just don't have what it takes? Maybe you do have what it takes. Maybe that's God's thought in your head. Maybe that's his dream that he's planted in you, and you got to go for it. You know, God doesn't get any glory from you playing it safe. None. All throughout the Bible, we see God using people who put all their chips on the table and they win for it. Almost every story that ends well in the Bible, somebody's putting all their chips into the table and going for it. People that did great things for God. William Sheed said it like this. He said, a ship is safe in harbor, but that's not what ships are for. Ships aren't meant to just kind of look pretty, be a boat just sitting in the water. No, it's meant to go places. It's meant to have a direction and end up at a different destination. You know, I made some big decisions when I look back at my life over the last 5 years. I wrote my first book. I changed. I went from one place of employment to another place. I went to a different church. I wrote another book. A pandemic happened. Then I started this church. Right now, I am writing another book, and it all comes down to this. I have one life to live. One life. I don't get 2. I don't get 5. I don't get a mulligan or a do-over. Like, this is it. And I'm going to go for it. You know, I would rather have gone for it and failed than shrunk back and wonder what if. What if I would have acted on my dreams? What if I would have had faith and took God at his word? What if I actually took big steps and not small steps? You know, I want to swing for the fences. I want to live with purpose. Man, from now on in your life, make decisions. Don't just take small steps. Don't go back, go forward. Take a big step forward. Go for it more. There are big steps that I've taken in my life, or even like this house that I'm sitting in. That was a dream house. That was a big step at the time. Now it's like top 3 decisions ever. The investment really paid off for us. Man, you don't play it safe. Go for it. Be risky. That's a verse in the Bible. It says, don't shrink back. It doesn't say, it says to be risky, or else you're just going to end up holding the bag. Go for it in life. You can't live in fear with what might happen. Go make your life happen, and you won't have that many regrets. When my time here is finished and I meet Jesus and I go to heaven, I want to hear the words that I bet a bunch of us want to hear. They're listed in Matthew 25. Well done, good and faithful servant. But I also envision a ceremonial exit, and this is just something I've kind of dreamed up, where I kind of turn to the right and I go through a door and I meet the person that Jesus created me to be. And whenever I meet this person, I want to shake this person's hand, look at him straight in the eye, and I want to be his identical twin. I don't want us to be 2 totally different people. I don't want one version to be the ultimate version, the other version to be somebody that shrunk back, that didn't think that he had what it took. No, I want to be the identical twin. What if every decision you made, every word that you said, that you did it with the intention to be that person that Jesus created you to be for his glory, not for your glory, but to steward your life well and do something great? What if you had this mindset and really gauged everything against this one question: will this get me closer to the person I was born to be? That's a big question that I ask in my life all the time. Is this getting me closer, or is this getting me further? And I ask it very routinely. If it's giving me further, then I change things because I want to go closer to the person I want to be. Well, thank you so much for joining us today. Hey, if this helps you, will you share it with somebody? Will you like, comment, subscribe? We'd love to know where you're watching from, where you're listening from. Help us get the word out. But we're so appreciative of your time. I hope I was able to add value today. Remember, we're not just champions in heaven, but we are champions in life. Put everything on the table. We don't leave anything not on the table. And we live with purpose in every step, and what we do in life echoes in eternity. We'll see you next time.